Hey everybody, welcome back to GoLocal Live here in the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center. Our second guest of the hour is Philip Mathieu. He is one of the founders of Eve and Mathieu, and their goal is to bring non-dairy milk to Rhode Island businesses. So tell us a little bit about your company.
Yeah, so Eve and Mathieu is a non-dairy milk company that's producing soy, almond, and coconut milk, and we're specifically working with food services. So we've basically come up with a way of making these milks that makes it much more convenient for food services to offer more varieties, which is what their customers are demanding.
And so tell us a little bit about how did this all start?
Yeah, so I founded this company with a good friend of mine, Kevin Eve. We actually met each other building race cars at Brown University. And then we decided to found a company, started playing around with ideas, and made the natural transition from race cars to non-dairy milks.
Of course, natural transition.
Exactly, yeah. So about January, we came up with the idea, started asking people about it. It seemed like a good idea, so we ended up applying for Brown's Venture Accelerator program, the Breakthrough Lab, and participated in that program this summer and took the plunge in August, and now we're doing this full time.
Fantastic. And so what did make you guys decide to go with non-dairy milk? It seems like kind of a niche market.
It definitely is, but it's also a rapidly growing market. And what we realized is that when you make a plant-based milk, you effectively add a small amount of plant matter, so that's your almonds or your soy or your coconut, and then you add a bunch of water, blend it up, maybe add some sweetener, some flavor, and that makes your final product. So if you actually add less water, you can create a sort of almond cream or a concentrated product, and you can dilute that back down at the point of sale. So what we do is we make our products at about a 3-to-1 ratio. So a single pint of our product will produce a full half gallon at final volume. And so for food services, this is great because it takes a lot less space, it's a lot less packaging waste, and you can provide more options in less space at your point of sale.
So it's a lot then like a traditional beverage dispenser where you have, say, like a cola or a Sprite concentrate that you mix with water in a fountain. Is it a similar type of dispenser?
Absolutely, it's exactly that. We actually are using a juice dispenser. So the same thing, if you remember from college, the orange juice dispenser, we use one of those for our product as well. And so we can have, in a dispenser that's about this big, 4 different varieties of non-dairy options.
And so where do you source all of your milks from?
We source our products basically from wherever, but all in the U.S. So most of the almonds are grown in California. We are looking into oat milk. That's been a really popular thing, especially in coffee shops lately. And so we hope if we can do oat milk that we can source those locally to New England. And then we're also working on using local sweeteners, so potentially maple syrup or honey, to try to stay as connected to the local food scene as possible.
That's great. So you're bringing in different parts of the community as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely a big part of what we're doing is possible because Rhode Island has become a really great place for startups and especially for food startups. I mean, Rhode Island's definitely one of the best cities if you're a foodie, and for us, all the resources available to us made it the natural choice for where to start our company.
Fantastic. And so tell us a little bit about your rollout. You said you guys just went full-time in August, so
Yes.
it's just been a few weeks
Yes.
then. So how's that been going?
It's been pretty fun. I mean, we had to tell everyone that we were doing this full-time, running a milk company, but everybody's been super supportive, and it's very exciting. We've got a pilot program lined up this fall, so we're planning to work with between 3 and 5 different Rhode Island-based colleges and universities. I can't say exactly which ones yet because we haven't finalized our agreements with them, but I mean, it's Rhode Island, you'll recognize the names.
There are only a few to pick from.
Right, absolutely. And so we're planning to keep developing the product in college and university cafeterias this fall, possibly some other coffee shops too. We've had some good response from a couple local places. And then hopefully scale up to like a regional or a national rollout at some point next year.
So would you say that would be your target audience then, a larger scale organization like a university where you have the bigger need for bulk?
Yeah, so pretty much any location that consumes a significant volume could benefit from the sort of efficiency of using our product. And so colleges and universities, we got almost universal positive results from the 15 different schools we talked to. But coffee shops too, especially ones that do more volume, and also potentially some consumers. We're really interested in figuring out a way to go direct to consumers because there's plenty of people that would rather not carry home 3 heavy half gallons of milk and could instead carry a much smaller amount of our product, and it takes less space in your fridge. Who knows? So yeah, if anybody's out there that's interested in our product, you can always reach out to us on our social media or our website.
And so right now, how do you go about with distribution?
Yeah, so we're going to be working with local distributors to reach our food service clients, and then we hope to also do e-commerce for some of that direct-to-consumer stuff as well. Right now, we're just very local, so it might even just be us driving our product to the location, but eventually we hope to scale up and work with local distributors.
So is there anywhere where we can find this right now?
Not just yet. We're hoping by the end of the fall that we'll start being able to do more direct-to-consumer work. And definitely, if you're at one of the schools we're piloting it at, it might just appear one day in your cafeteria.
Keep your eyes out.
Yeah, so keep your eyes out for sure.
So what are your goals for the company, both in the near future and beyond?
Well, we think that this is just fundamentally a better way of doing non-dairy products. And so our hope is to grow it as fast as we can, try to get it in as many places as possible. So right now that's all we're really focused on for the next couple of years. And then, going forward, both Kevin and I have interest in doing entrepreneurship. Maybe we'll move on to something else, maybe not. We'll see.
So do you think, right now, non-dairy milk seems to be the latest craze between coconut milk and almond milk and soy milk and, like you said, oat milk. Do you think it's a change in cultural approach to it, or do you think it's kind of a fad right now?
I think it's definitely a sustainable change, and I think the reason for that is the factors that are driving people to choose these options. I mean, there's sort of three things. There's obviously people with dietary restrictions that have to go non-dairy, but then we're seeing more and more people choosing these beverages for health reasons. They might fit better with their diet, or choosing them because they are more sustainable, generally speaking. And so those are all trends that are going to continue. We're going to keep moving towards healthy options. We're going to keep moving towards sustainable options. And so we think the growth in non-dairy is only going to continue.
And talking about more on an individual consumer level, you said you were interested in seeing about how you could get it into individual people's homes as well. Would that be more of an approach of like a subscription, like your old-fashioned milkman? You guys show up every 2 weeks or so with the milk, or would it be I'm going and picking up my concentrate at the supermarket?
We think the future is in more of the subscription model. I mean, that seems to be a trend all across industry. So we're really excited to explore that, and especially early on, it's much easier for a small company like us to sell our products online and deliver them than it is to get some space on a grocery store shelf. So it's probably going to be a combination. Ideally, we'll be in every grocery store in America and also available online, but we'll have to see how it goes.
Great. And can we find you on social media as well?
Absolutely. So you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at EMBevCo, and then also evemathieu.com.
Great. And so is there anything else you'd like people to know about your company? What would you say to someone who was maybe a little on the fence about it?
I would say if you haven't tried a non-dairy milk, you should definitely give it a shot. Some of them taste really good. Everyone's going to have the ones they prefer, but they're really delicious. So it's not just about if you can't drink dairy. They're a great option for pretty much everyone.
Do you think there are more benefits to drinking non-dairy milk as opposed to traditional milk?
I think it depends what you're looking for. So certainly there's a little less greenhouse gas emissions usually associated with a plant-based product, and less water consumption, although consumption for almonds is definitely a concern right now. But yeah, it sort of depends on your diet. I mean, anybody that's choosing these, you can pretty easily go online and figure out, is it a good fit for what you're looking for? Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, keep an eye out, local college students. Keep an eye out in your dining halls. You might be seeing the newest beverage dispenser popping up anytime soon, and everyone else here in Rhode Island might be coming to your local supermarket, your local coffee shop, even your local kitchen.
Maybe.
Thanks so much for joining us, Philip Mathieu. He is one of the co-founders of Eve and Mathieu. Thanks so much. We really appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back here on GoLocal Live.